Welcome to episode 2 of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. In the last episode we saw some of the Dark Age and the Feudal Age, and we saw up until a militia attacked a house, and at that point the game crashed. We saw that the player that, if you recall, the player we were following had a lot of gold, and might have done something surprising with that gold. But anyways, we'll follow another game. Let's spectate in one more. Again, this is auto match, and that means these are ranked matches. What does that mean, ranked match? It means that both players are very competitive, and we can expect both teams to simply be savages. They're not going to try to do anything but destroy the other village. Again, we're going to be starting in the Dark Ages, and you see, this time instead of cows, we have llamas. In the Dark Ages, it looks like we're going to look for a house first and villagers. After the house and the villagers, you're going to be wanting to eat something. And in this case, what is there to eat? Llamas. It looks like they also found, blue player here has found 2 turkeys. Right about here. With his scout. See, they've just finished the first house, so now we can have more than 5 villagers. And we're going to be making villagers non-stop. We found 2 more turkeys. And this llama and these turkeys are going to be looking for more llamas and turkeys in this direction. While down further south, the scout has found stones here, gold here, some trees, and no sign of the red player, which is likely savages. You see here that the villagers have begun gathering meat to make more villagers and houses to house them. There's not much to do in the Dark Age, but to explore what's around you and to make houses and eat meat. See, the scout here has gone farther up. This turkey didn't find anything. Blue is going to build a lumber camp here, looking for more wood faster. The villager can cut a tree down and process it at the lumber camp instead of having to walk all the way down here back to this town center. Oh, the bullfighter has started already. He's already half dead. He's provoked it. He's provoked this animal, but he's made it back to his village right away, and they're able to kill that animal. They're gonna eat it. He has 4 turkeys and a llama left, but he said, I'm gonna fight this one right away. The scout has started to go towards the center of the map. There's a lake. Sometimes civilization might choose to get fish here. Oh, this blue player, very aggressive. Began fighting another animal right away. It's chasing him. He's made it to his townspeople. They're going to defend him from this animal that he's provoked. And they're able to put that animal... they're able to kill that animal with their bows before this villager dies. You can die very easily. 1 versus 1. That animal it will kill you. But he's made it to the safety of his town. And they're able to eat that animal. Some people choose to get fish. on this map, it doesn't seem very coastal, only small lakes. And this blue player is not going to be doing any lake fishing with boats or with nets from the shore. You see the scout? It's well beyond his village, but still has not found any red villagers. His horse makes him much faster than anybody else. And, a second lumber camp is being started at this other grove of trees. And it looks like we're going to want a mill to gather berries here. And you remember, a mill will receive food as quickly as a town center. But since it's much closer to the berries, they don't have to walk as far. We found the first red houses. Red is probably doing the same thing here. You can see that Red is making a villager, and Red is also making a stronger clothes for his villagers, and so they'll be able to survive wild animal attacks. Blue player, he cannot see this right now. Blue player cannot see what the red player is doing right now, and so we won't peek that far either. You can see a lumber camp has been spotted. Another mill. Red has a mill, and they're gathering the berries. Ooh, an animal just was killed right there. Red is also eating meat. There, Red has already, or Blue player has already started farming. Even while having berries and a llama, the Blue player has decided to supplement all that meat with the greeneries provided by these farms. These farms cost wood, and so a lot of times, you know, if you want to use farms, you're gonna need more wood cutters than farmers to have wood to do other things as well. Blue player is in fact going to build a dock, and he's going to get some of these fish too. See, the blue player has started to build the barracks, and that is where you're going to get in the Dark Ages, only militiamen. You can only make a militiaman to defend your village with. And once in the Feudal Age, you can upgrade those, and you also have access to pikemen too. You can see here, Blue player has started researching the Feudal Age. He wants to get out of the Dark Ages. He wants more technologies. You can see here, Blue player is attacking the Red player. The Red Scout is very weak, and running is fleeing from the Blue player. The Blue player is chasing him, and the Red Scout seems to get away. Right there, the Blue player gives up the chase. So the blue player is going to make some fishing boats right now from the dock. And he's going to use the fishing boats to get some fish out of the lake fishing. Also, he seems to be building houses in such a way that they're going to be between the red... Oh, the red player now has 2 scouts. And 2 scouts will definitely be able to take down... the 2 red scouts will take down the blue scout. For 2 versus 1 fight, blue scout is died. It's very hard to win a 2 versus 1. Many of these, even a militiaman will win 1 versus 1 against the villagers. And that is its main purpose. See here, 2 spearmen. Spearman is a pikeman, but it's just a spear. He has less armor. So. Spearmen are going to be 1-on-1. Oh, a red scout, the weak red scout has died. 1 red scout has died. These horses are very weak to the spearmen. spearman is much longer range with that spear. He can just attack them right away before they can get close to attack. Horses are not, you know, just as soft as a person. But only the person is going to be attacking with his sword. You can see these two here. Blue player is attacking the red player. They're having a back and forth. Another blue scout has appeared. So the blue player has built his buildings. He's built a stable where he can make more horsemen and houses in between the red player and himself. And that will mean that it will take time to either destroy those buildings, or the red player will have to go all the way around from the back if he's going to attack any people. You see a red spearman has made it all the way to the blue village, and he's going to be attacking. So it's 1 versus 1 against another spearman, and these two scouts are going to come up behind him. He's going to kill him. Not a very smart move by that red spearman. You can see some lake fishing is happening. That fish is really going to provide a source of protein for these villagers who are now going to be surviving mainly off farming. You can see some berries as well. There's still some berries left. Gold mining is starting to take over. Blue has finished mining camp, along with his 2 lumber camps and the archery ranges here, where some archers are coming out. He's going to be mining this gold. Metal is very useful for a lot of things. Archers are going to need that metal for their arrow tips. Two blue scouts have rounded around the red village, which has grown, and it continues to grow. Some walls are coming, and blue player has made it around the walls. This red scout is very weak and killed quickly. This villager has been tasked with building walls. This cannot compete against the 2 swords of these scouts. Scouts will attack these walls. It's a slow work, you can see, but they're going to choose to continue to attack those walls right there. Another scout is going to be sent that way, along with 2 spearmen and some archers. But the red archers have arrived, and 2 blue scouts are dead. These spearmen and archers are going to turn back home, seeing that there's 2 horsemen have died. This archer will continue forward to the red archery range. Oh, he's touched the red archery range and he's going to go back. You can see the farming of the blue village has expanded around the town center and the mill. There's still a good amount of gold mining. This villager, she seems to be stuck at the mining. As more archers come out from the archery ranges here in the woods. This stable, another house is wanting to be built here. You can see this lumber camp became gold miners. Oh no, this lumber camp has moved to here. to avoid cutting all the way through these trees, I assume. And the blue village has completely walled himself in. You can't crawl over these rocks. Both, we can see that both villages are going to be wanting to research the Castle Age. The Feudal Age, we could say that it would sum it up, that it was a lot of small battles between the horsemen, the scouts, and each other. Also, spearmen were involved there. And towards the end, some archers appeared and they were able to kill horsemen as well. And, just a small amount of armed villagers here that make up their military. Seems less than 20, as there's 39 villagers and 64 people overall. 65 and 66 now as some more archers come out. So we can see that it's 2-to-1. Oh, and then the red archers have found the blue archers, but they're lower on the hill, and they're going to retreat. 2 red archers seem to have died, but also 2 blue archers seem to have died right there. Just on this slope of this hill right here, by the center lake, between them. And here's a crossbowman now. As both teams have made it into the Castle Age, red first to give his archers now the crossbows instead of the archers. Blue has just got crossbows right now as well, and helmets. And that will help them stay alive a little bit longer. And some crossbowmen are able to shoot their arrows or bolts that crossbows use farther than the arrows that the archers use. Red crossbowmen are now going to be attacking, murdering lumberers at the blue village. You can see this woodcutter met an untimely end in the Castle Age. That villager might have hoped to cut many more trees before she found a hail of red bolts. Crossbow bolt. But the blue crossbowmen now have the red crossbowmen. They have numbers here. There are more blue crossbowmen here, and they're going to release a volley of bolts at the red crossbowmen. But the red crossbowmen are single targeting the blue crossbowmen and killing them one by one. And wow! And so only 2 red crossbowmen, 3 red crossbowmen have died, but already 3, 6, 7, 8 blue crossbowmen are done. So single targeting is really proving to be effective, but eventually the sheer numbers of blue crossbowmen have overpowered, and 4 red crossbowmen go down. There's only 3 left, and they're now shooting at a house. And the remaining blue crossbowmen finish them off. That group of archers that became crossbowmen were able to kill they murdered several lumberers before they were stopped by the blue crossbowmen. You can see the blue is no longer scouting the red village, but is choosing to defend. A new town center is being built. In the Castle Age, we can now build 2 more town centers have been built. You can build more town centers in the Castle Age, where you cannot build another town center in the Dark Age or the Feudal Age. And this will make it easier to make more villagers quickly, because you can make villagers in 3 places at once now. So you can see a few more farms have popped up, and this town center is going to be involved in stone mining. Stones are going to be used, this one as well, stones are going to be used to build castles and much stronger walls than these wood walls. We can see the blue squad has made it to the red village and is going to be attacking a red wall here. The wall is much weaker than the neighboring stable, and they'll be able to get through, but they choose to retreat before killing that wall and entering the village. Blue is going to come back and look at the village over the trees a little bit more through the trees. Do they see anybody? No. But here, coming from down the hill, is a group of red crossbowmen, and the blue crossbowmen just did not expect to see the red crossbowmen there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them have died. Only one red crossbowman was unlucky on that hill. But here, as they fire face to face and just shoot at each other, many more die, but the sheer numbers of red is going to win this battle here. All the blue crossbowmen are dead. But blue has amassed the amount of villagers and is starting to build a castle here. It's going to be very hard for just crossbowmen to take over a castle. Also, the siege workshop is coming up. The siege workshop is where different machineries, war machineries will come out of, and those machines will be able to fight against either groups of people or against buildings in a specialized way. We'll see that soon. We can see all the natural fish, real dense fishing spots in this lake are gone, and so the fishing boats have resorted to using traps over time, and they're just going to wait for these traps to fill and wait at their traps and pull fish out of their traps. There's no more real dense schools of fish. They're moving around, and they're going to just be caught in these traps in this lake. And those cost wood to make. You can see over here another town center has come up, and but many red crossbowmen are going to kill this gold miner and just walk right past it. 11 villagers or so inside are trying to defend. They're shooting with their hunting bows at these crossbowmen, but the crossbowmen are just going to walk inside, and it looks like they're going to try to murder farmers. You can see this female right here. It's probably going to be unlucky. Oh, as blue is avoiding the volley from this town center up, and this blue farmer, she's unlucky right there. The red crossbowmen have made it around into the blue base and found a spot far from a fire. We can see from the siege workshop a blue mangonel has come out, and that's going to throw a big group of rocks at the crossbowmen, and if that hits you, it could take out a good amount of crossbowmen at once, but it's going to be hard for them to hit a moving target. From the castle here, we have the Mangu Dai, which is a Mongol cavalry archer. This is a bowman on a horse. He's very quick, and he still has range, though. He's going to try to shoot at crossbowmen from range and then run away quickly before they can return any arrows or bolts back at them. And you can see these red ones, as they choose to try to murder more villagers, are just going to take some arrows from these Mangu Dai, and they're going to be run down by the speed of the horses. Blue is going to build another castle here, and that's going to have a high ground position on this area of the red village, and we can see how that might play into an attack against the red village after it's done. We can see the blue villagers are going to try to make a town center over here at this gold mine and forest. This group of trees, this grove of trees, and they're going to try to mine this gold and get these trees, get all that gold. Now blue doesn't know, but red has almost finished becoming imperial as opposed to just castles. And at that point, they're going to be wanting to expand their empire and not just defend their village. And you can see a red castle has appeared here, while blue has not been scouting. And but this blue castle is very well placed to fight against that red castle, even though it's just now been discovered. You can see just still a small amount of fishing is happening here. Oh, we have some warning over here. This gold mining village just found another 10 or 20 crossbowmen from red. Red has finished the Imperial Age. That is now known. Blue is researching the Imperial Age now, and that will give more technology and better armor and weapons to fight one-on-one against an equally matched opponent. Or equally equipped, you know, same item. In this case, it seems really going to be using ranged weapons, bows and arrows, and the crossbowmen and bolts. As we see, the first trebuchet has come out. This catapult is slinging the big rocks just at a large distance, really hitting that castle hard. You cannot stand too many of these rocks. Some villagers are going to try to repair, but every rock just hits so hard. And blue has nothing that can go that close to that castle yet. Meanwhile, while that castle's being attacked, red crossbowmen are going to come around the side and just try to murder villagers. This fishing boat is going to get it. 2 fishing boats, 3 fishing boats, 4 fishing boats. That's the end of this fishing lake. And these crossbowmen, with their fiery bolts now, just going to set fire to those fishing boats. That's going to end that protein source for this small empire here. 4 towns, 5 towns. Well, this one is kind of like one big town. This one is sort of a suburb, and you know, another suburb here, and this town over here. The castle. You can see red skirmishers have shown up. Skirmishers have a shield and some kind of a spear, and a throwing spear. They're gonna just be able to block arrows. Blue's main guy group is over here. More trebuchets came out and were able to knock down this blue castle. Meanwhile, again, these red crossbowmen, now called the arbalesters, as the more technological crossbow. Just gonna enter this blue village and just start murdering farmers as they're in the gap between town centers. They're gonna murder these farmers and these woodcutters as this battle over here takes place. And Blue's baby guy is just gonna be overwhelmed as the night comes out. Skirmishers. It's gonna be hard to get a good shot on that knight when it's up close in your face with his sword and his shield. It's gonna be hard to aim your bow. Somehow they're able to kill that one knight. These skirmishers. The skirmisher might get this horse right here. He does. But another arrow hits him. These 2 right here versus this one skirmisher. But the entire time, this group of arbalesters, now the crossbowmen, just murdered just many villagers here. Blue still has 99 villagers left. So there's a lot of villagers left mining gold here. Some of them are in the house, but farming has stopped. And He's released his villagers from the town center, and so he's going to run out of food very quickly once the farming is stopped because they're just being shot by these bolts. Oh, now this village is going to get it from this group still. This group right here of Arbalesters. Oh, and the game is over as blue will just surrender there. And we expected savagery from both players, but especially the opponent. We expected that kind of savagery, to just attack villagers ruthlessly, and it was effective in expanding the Red Empire into this territory that was controlled by these blues. And we can see that what Red had over here as we return to the map, and it's a similar situation, just the farms and mills, two town centers, a town center here, some more farms, houses, lumber, wood. A very similar thing to what a blue had. But the main difference that blue did not have was, one, these catapults did kill this castle first, but this castle was destroyed equally. But the thing that red had that blue did not have is this group of crossbowmen here, the Arbalesters eventually, that just absolutely slaughtering villagers. And that's really going to stop all the food production for the Blue Empire. They're not going to be able to fight anymore as these red catapults come out and kill this town center. Now this wood source is going to be attacked, and blue just feeling that they cannot they do not have any answer for this group of just 10 or 15 or 12, maybe 14 or so crossbowmen. Just blue has no answer for that out of his 96 villagers, and the supplies just cannot compete against that, and that's going to win the game for red. And we can see here red was the winner and won on all fronts except for society. You can see the military statistics. Red killed just an amount of more military units than blue, 108 to 125. And so the difference there of 13, 18, what is that? 18 units are really making the difference. 17. Yeah. 17 you really make a difference in the extra buildings here. The largest army right there, just 15 more. Really, that's that 14 or 15 crossbowmen that just killed so many villagers. And the wood, you see the wood collection and the gold collection almost equal here. The technology as well. Red explored more of the map and had some researches that it might help those crossbowmen win 1 versus 1 fights. And as far as the society goes, Red had a few more villagers. They're again killing many villagers, and you can see here the timeline of the two groups, and it's seemingly equally balanced for much of the game. But right here is where Red is really going to be killing a lot of villagers, and I think that's a good lesson for this episode of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, that it can be really difficult to see what's happening in two places at once. And while that castle fight was going on and just so many villagers and farmers specifically being killed, it became hard to win a fight outside of the village because the inside of the village was just being destroyed. And that's a typical play that you can expect from the savagery that is ranked matchmaking. And with that, that will conclude this episode of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. And we hope that I hope that you have enjoyed the journey from the Dark Age through the Feudal Age and the Castle Age and to the Imperial Age, and really seeing how different civilizations develop.